Wow. Can you believe it? The Mets figured out how to win 2 games in a row. Mets win 11 to 10 over the Chicago White Sox, and this has just been the most unimpressive 2 game win streak ever, but sure. Um I'm not surprised. The White Sox suck. um they're somehow worse than the Mets. So, I'm not surprised by this, but I mean, even then, like, this team is it's just laughable how it's every single time that they produce offensively that the pitching performs like garbage and vice versa. It's the thing that's been said all year by every single person that makes videos about this team and that covers this team, but it's just the damn truth. We're going to talk about it. Leave a like if you do enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next on the channel. But let's talk about this. Top of the first, Carrasco gets Benintendi to ground out. Anderson gets hit by a pitch. Robert strikes out. Vaughn hits it to a force out. Bottom of the first, the Mets actually score runs. Can you believe it? Brandon Nimmo walks and then Tommy Pham hits a double to left to make it a 1-0 ball game. So the Mets all of a sudden figured out how to score first inning runs, and then Tommy Pham's able to advance on a wild pitch to third. So Francisco Lindor would walk. That puts runners on the corners. And then Pete Alonso hits into a sacrifice fly. That makes it a 2-0 game. So looking good. 2 runs, not bad. But wait, there's more as McNeil strikes out. But Francisco Alvarez hits himself a home run to make it a 4-0 ball game for the Mets, who had himself a very good day. And they're not done as Brett Beatty goes back to back with them as he hits a home run to center, and that makes it a 5-0 game. And then Mark Hanna strikes out, but the Mets go up 5-0. How are they going to blow it? Is the question that everyone was asking in their head. Well, we'll talk about it. I mean, they were close, but Jake Berger strikes out, and then Yasmani Grandal hits a home run of his own to right to make it a 5-1 ball game. Zach Remliard strikes out. Colas lines out. We go to the bottom of the second. Stewart grounds out. Nimmo with a walk. Pham strikes out. Lindor hits an RBI double. That makes it a 6-1 ball game. Alonso then flies out. That is the end of the inning. Top of the third. Zavala pops out. Benintendi walks. Anderson with an RBI double to make it a 6-2 ball game. Robert with a single. He ends up getting to steal second as well. Vaughn strikes out. Berger flies out. Bottom of the third, McNeil grounds out. Alvarez walks. And then back-to-back strikeouts from Beatty and Canna. But again, the Mets still up. So, and when will the cookie crumble? That was the question, right? Well, it wasn't in the fourth as he walks Grandal, but then gets the rest of the batters out in order. We go to the bottom of the fourth where DJ Stewart, the guy who I dunked on the other day, hitting ninth, though, this time at least, not seventh, hits a home run to center, and that makes it hits a lottery sign, actually, and that made it a 7-2 ball game. Mets have a comfortable lead, and they still weren't done in that inning. Nimmo grounds out, Pham with a single. Lindor pops out. Tommy Pham ends up getting a stolen bag there. Alonso walked, and then Giolito is done for the day. Brian Shaw comes to the pitch, but he would get charged with another run, Giolito, that is, as Shaw allows a single to Jeff McNeil, and he hits that one to left. That brings in Tommy Pham. Alonso goes to third. That makes it an 8-2 game. Alvarez then strikes out. We go to the top of the fifth, where, again, things just can't be easy with this Mets team. Benintendi with a single, Anderson with a single, Robert grounds out, Vaughn grounds out, and then Jake Berger hits, on that ground out, by the way, that made 8-3, and then Jake Berger hits a double to make it 8-4. So all of a sudden, the Mets are in trouble. Carrasco exits the game, can't even give you 5 innings, and I definitely regret giving somewhat of an apology on the podcast recently to Carrasco because this was an awful start. But yeah, Hartwig comes to the pitch and then Grandal strikes out. Bottom of the fifth, Beatty grounds out. Canna gets hit by a pitch. Stewart strikes out. Nimmo grounds out. We go to the top of the sixth, where it is a 1-2-3 inning for Grant Hartwig. Bottom of the sixth, Pham walks. He ends up getting to advance on a wild pitch yet again as he goes to second. Lindor pops out. Alonso grounds out. Tanner Banks comes in to pitch, and he allows an RBI single that would be to Jeff McNeil as he hits one to right field. That makes it 9-4. And then Francisco Alvarez, what you thought was the dagger, makes it an 11-4 game with a home run to center field. Beatty flies out. They can't make it easy. They can't. Benintendi walks. Anderson with a single. Robert strikes out. Trevor Gott nothing, comes in the pitch. Vaughn hits into a fielder's choice. Jake Berger with a double to make it a 11-6 game, as that brings in Benintendi and Anderson to score. Vaughn goes to third. Grandal would end up driving Vaughn in, and drives Berger in. That makes it an 11-8 game all of a sudden, and then Zach Remley ends up getting a single, and all of a sudden Brooks Raley has to come in the pitch because, yes, in an 11-4 game, the Mets cannot use lower leverage relief pitchers, as Raley comes in and Carlos Perez walks. Then you have a pass ball by Francisco Alvarez, and that makes it a 9-11 game all of a sudden, and it's like, holy crap, the Mets are going to blow it. Zavala strikes out. Benintendi flies out. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Ronaldo Lopez comes in the pitch for the White Sox. Cannon with a single. Stewart with a ground out. Nimmo with a strikeout. Pham with a walk. Lindor strikes out. Adam Ottavino comes in the pitch and thankfully does not not live up to the out the lead go name, as he gets back-to-back groundouts from Anderson and Robert. Allows a single to Vaughn, who also ends up getting to advance on a wild pitch, but Berger grounds out. That's the end of the inning. Middleton comes in the pitch for the White Sox. He strikes out Alonso, gets McNeil to fly out. Alvarez with a walk. A lot of wild pitches today, as he's able to advance to second on a wild pitch because nobody knew how to throw a baseball in this baseball game between two bad teams who were having a freaking tank bowl here. Brett Beatty flies out, and Guillorme comes in for defense in the ninth. Robertson comes in the pitch. He walks Grandal, gets back-to-back outs. Andrews comes up the pitch hit. He walks. Benintendi with an RBI single to make it an 11-10 game. Benintendi steals second. Holy crap, they're going to blow an 11-4 lead. That would have been the nail in the coffin and the icing on the cake if there ever was for a season, right? But Tim Anderson flies out, so the Mets end up winning the ball game. Hartwig is the winning pitcher. The losing pitcher is Giolito. Robertson gets a save. 12 hits for the White Sox, 10 for the Mets. The Mets were still out hit, even though they scored 11 runs. Still got only 10 hits. No errors on each side. Not a good game from the Mets at all, even though they won. The pitching is just awful. Awful pitching. Carrasco sucks. Hartwig cannot be used. Gott cannot be used. Raley did good. Ottavino did good. Robertson did good. But Robertson I wouldn't say Robertson did good, actually. 2 walks and a hit allowed. Yeah, I take that back. But he's been good for the most part this season. Ottavino and Raley were good, but this bullpen is not good enough. And yeah, I mean, 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. 8 left on total. Nimmo still went 0-4. Alonso still went 0-4. 1-4 from Lindor. 1-4 from Beatty. I mean, Alvarez had a very good game. Alvarez and Pham had very good games. McNeil, I would say, had a very good game too, which is nice to see considering I've been ripping him apart. But again, these are the type of games that I wanted the Mets to make a statement if they wanted to show me that they could be a playoff team still, and if they wanted to get me roped back in. I said they had to kill the White Sox, like annihilate them. This is not annihilation by any stretch of the imagination. It's not. And I just don't think this team is capable of playing a complete baseball game and giving a full effort on both sides of the ball. They're not. This was the definition of a tank off. This was 2 teams that freaking suck. So, I'm not moved. Cute win. Again, embrace the tank. Embrace the tank for at least the remainder of the season. But when is the trade deadline? How many days away are we from the trade deadline? August 1st is the trade deadline. So we are getting very, very close. We're getting into the thick of things here. We're getting very close. But those are my thoughts on the game. I'll see you guys in the next one.